This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com in review, and what I'm looking at today is 1985's Satan's Children, directed by Wiezycki. And not to state the obvious, but no one likes bad movies. But that being said, there are many types of bad movies, some more palatable than others. For instance, I can't stand bad movies that appear to be put together not well, which is to say, badly shot, badly edited, badly acted, badly written. Those type of things bother me, and I don't find myself able to sit through those type of movies. But conversely, there are also bad movies that are moderately well directed, moderately well written, and interesting in their own right, that are watchable. And by my reckoning, Satan's Children is one of those movies. It is, once again, not a good movie, but it's so fascinatingly bad, it's worth watching. It revolves around a young person named Bobby Douglas, who is probably the most unlucky human being on the planet. I kid you not. The movie starts off where he is mowing the lawn and his stepsister is sunning herself. It seems Bobby's mother married into this family. She's nowhere to be seen. The movie doesn't explain why she's not there, but she isn't. And Bobby is tormented by his stepsister, and their father treats Bobby with contempt as well. And the way she torments him is really odd and kind of, dare I say, erotic for a brother and sister, even a brother and sister by marriage. It's just weird. Though he gets frustrated with the situation and runs away, where he's kidnapped by a gay person and essentially raped. You don't see this in the movie, but it's strongly implied. Joe Wiezycki, the director as well as an uncredited writer of Satan's Children, might have an issue with homosexuality. And if so, that's the way he thinks. What can one do? But there are one or two instances of him showing Bobby Douglas's body in such a way that it seems very much the opposite. So, as I was saying, Bobby Douglas is essentially raped by a bunch of gay dudes. And then they dump him. But get this, he is discovered by a bunch of Satan worshippers. As I said, quite possibly the most unlucky person on the planet. So eventually they pick him up. It's implied, though not very well, to be possessed by Satan. And he goes and gets revenge on his stepsister as well as father. And if I recall, the Satanist as well. So don't hold me to that latter part. This is a mess. This movie is ridiculous. Keep in mind, this movie was produced in 1975. And as I mentioned in the introduction, it's well shot. Its writing is not very good, though it is just so fascinating. It is overstuffed to the point of bursting with plot. It is ridiculous. But see, that's part of the reason why I like this movie. It is not a good movie, and I won't even kid anyone to think that. But it is a fascinating movie. And what I most enjoy about Satan's Children is that I can see a much better movie in it. And that always interests me. Namely, even if a movie isn't good, that with a few tweaks here and there, it can become significantly better, or even, dare I say, good. And this is one of those movies. For instance, alter the creepy relationship between Bobby Douglas and his stepsister. They don't have to like each other, but it doesn't have to be so weird a relationship. Make the father more sympathetic. He doesn't have to like Bobby, but from the moment you see him on screen, he comes off as a massive dick. That doesn't work very well. Based upon the title of this movie, which is Satan's Children, there's way too much plot-wise going on, as I said. So you alter the relationship between Bobby Douglas and his stepsister, but also get rid of the homosexual undertones entirely. Just get rid of it, because, as I said, the movie's called Satan's Children. You don't need that element there. It's just weird. And the movie implies that part of Bobby's issue is that he is gay but doesn't know it. But it's virtually not relevant to anything. It's just there and plays no real purpose. Now, maybe in the 70s, people thought of it as generally something to be afraid of. These days, not so much. Get rid of that subplot entirely. It's just weird and it's muddled. And as I said, it comes off very gay for a movie that seems to be anti-gay. It's very strange. And it doesn't need to be here. Get rid of it. You have Bobby Douglas running away from home. He's on the streets. He doesn't have to be raped by anyone. He can be propositioned by people and end up with the Satan worshippers. Again, you get rid of the seediness of it, but you keep the main point, which is devil worship. And you make it more a story about, is Bobby White possessed by Satan or is he not? And that's the thrust, the narrative thrust I should say, determining whether or not that's true. The movie as it stands is not overtly supernatural. There are supernatural elements to be sure, but they're relatively minor. They can be played up. They could be brought more to the fore, making the movie genuinely creepy. As I said, Satan's Children, as it stands, is not good. It's enjoyable as hell, but it is not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. Though, with a relatively few minor tweaks, it could be brilliant. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Review. If you agree, disagree, let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or follow.